Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show. What is selling? I'm going to show you what price point. We're going to do a little deep dive in there, and this chart here is showing you inventory screaming up now. Looked at my 7-day moving average, and Monday this chart's going to be higher, probably by about 800 homes. So what the heck is going on? Well, it used to be that our inventory was growing because the sales were not there. And then the sales kind of creeped up a little bit to about 3,400 a week. But the number of canceleds and expireds kind of pulled away from homes that were being put on the market. So the inventory was growing. Well, today, expireds have got back down to their level of 200 over a 7-day moving average. Canceled still running a little bit high, but new listings this week popped up about, if I were to take a look at it here, by about 400 homes, which is fairly significant over a 7-day moving average. So then you got to ask yourself, well, why is it going up, and what category is it, and what's selling? Because I have to ask you, are you of the mind that this is the end? We're going to see extremely high inventory and sales are going to fall through the floor, or is this just very segmented? What I'm saying is it's kind of segmented, and there's some parts of the valley and there's some price points they're doing quite well, and there is a segment of our population that just can't afford to buy and probably won't be for quite a while and are waiting. But there is, keep in mind, a segment of the population that has no problem, and it's enough to keep realtors busy. It's enough to help you sell your home, but there's some areas that are struggling. And one of the things that I like to look at here is this is what's called a mouse that's not doing what it's supposed to do. There we go. This is days inventory. Now let me explain this chart a little bit to you because it's a little busy. Days inventory is updated every week, and it shows it's a moving average. How many days has that house been on the market, or how many days? You have months supply, right? So if no other homes come on the market and sales keep going the way they are, it'll take 4 months to drain that inventory. This is the same thing, but it's a little more concise in that it tracks it on a daily basis. Months of supply shows something that happened in the rearview mirror. This is a tracking average over 7 days. So let's take a look at this. See this yellow, there's orange line here? This is the average. So if we look at our total market of days of inventory, the average right now is 68.1. The total market's showing you that we're 118.3. Pretty darn alarming. But then you drill down a little bit and say, okay, 118, let's see, what are they for condos? Okay. Condos, the average here when that orange line shows up 67.4, and it's 143.2, so they're getting hit pretty hard. What about just single family homes? Pull that out. We are sitting a little bit better, 66, and the average days on market are 109. If we go to mobile homes here, mobile homes have gone from 109 to 202. But let's keep it at all right now and check something else out. And that is, let's look at a couple price points. I'm going to go 300,000 and below and 275 to 300,000. So I'll add 250 there. So you can see that we were at 61, now we're at 102. Now, why is that considerably higher? Most of those homes are either condos or they're a really dilapidated home, and they're in an area where honestly you don't want to live. Even the investors are not interested in those. I get a lot of notes from investors, Rick, if you got anything that's distressed that needs work, and they want me to send it to them. Sometimes you send it to them, they're in a neighborhood, and they go, nah, no thanks, because they can't get the turn on it. They can't get they can't flip it and sell it for more. So those are the parts of town that are getting hit pretty hard. And that price range, everybody's, boy, if I could just find something under 300,000, I'm all over it. Well, not necessarily. But here's the deal. You get up and you start creeping up in the price ranges of 400,000. It's not as bad. 92.7, and now it's 102. You get up to over between 5 and 600,000. Let me just filter out the 400K that I have here. And you can see that 113 versus 117. That price range, my friends, is doing well. If you're thinking of selling your home, the price range is okay. Now down here during the selling season, you could sell your home just by sneezing on your porch. Oh, did you say you're selling your home? I'll be right there. And so we are about average over this 11-year period. Now, This is pre-pandemic back here, 2019, and everything fell off as far as months of or days of inventory. In other words, sales started getting more brisk. But that price range right now, which didn't exist back here, was probably 350,000 back here, is now 500,000. What's going on above 600,000? You guys are faring pretty well too. So if you combine the two between 5 and 600,000, which I just did, you're instead of 117, you're 126. Let's remove 5 and see what's going on. And you're not doing as well. 130, well, actually, I'm sorry, I apologize. 121 versus 137. If you're selling between $600 and $800,000, it's not bad for you. Those houses are moving. So above 800,000, let's take a look at this real quick. I'll show you here that it is 137 is where we are, 182. Now, we got more inventory coming on. I can't break it down by price point yet. Maybe I'll be able to do that. But stock market's got its rear end handed to them this week. But again, it depends all about the day. You had a bad Monday, good Tuesday, bad Monday, bad Tuesday, good Wednesday. It's everywhere. It's going around. There's a lot of volatility, and people don't like volatility, and especially bond traders. So interest rates took a severe hit. And it's tough out there when it comes to trying to figure out what's happening. And so normally when you get a CPI number that comes out that says, oh, this is better than expected, then interest rates come down. But they actually went up because they're now ignoring that data. They're going, there's so much stuff going on over here on the side that, hey, we're really happy for the CPI number, but hold my beer. Look at what's going on here in when it comes to everything else politically. So that's where we're at. Now we go back to this chart, this day's inventory chart. Let's look at the cities. So let's look at all here and pull up and say, here's Mesa. They're at 107 versus 54.51, which is the average. But then if I want to take a look at price ranges again and I go to 500, 600,000, how is Mesa? You're not too bad. You get down in the 300,000 range down here and I remove this, you've creeped up a little bit. But I suspect the city that's probably been hit pretty hard is Maricopa. And I'm going to try and pull that up while I have you on here. Don't run away from me. Maricopa, right here, we're right below Mesa. Pull that out, and I'm going to select all. And you can see that we're at 131 versus 752. And what price range is climbing? Well, we're 500 to 600,000 out of Maricopa. Ooh, 211, 289. It's above the average, but that still takes a long time down in Maricopa. Is there anything below 300,000 down there? 157 days of supply in 300,000, 350. I didn't filter out 500, 600. Let me move that. So 161. So Maricopa, it is considered a buyer's market, and it's definitely showing up in the numbers. Now, what can we expect going forward? I'm seeing a spike in inventory that's going to show up in the numbers on Monday morning. I'm seeing a dip in contracts. A lot of people were really rushing to the gates when interest rates got down to 6.5, not by a large number, maybe 200 or 300 or 400 a week, and then now that has it's just stalled. And so you can't measure real estate on a weekly basis. I feel bad for people that were waiting to lock because they thought that things were looking rosy, and then all of a sudden in one day, 6.6 to 7%, there went the lock. And lenders are pulling their hair out right now. As we go forward, we want to look, and we know that inventory is going to go up. Now, we always know that inventory tends to go up a little bit in the spring and start trending down in the summer. I don't know if that trend is going to continue or not. I mean, you can see right here that that's normally what happens. See how it starts coming back down as you get towards the hotter months. It's all interest rate driven, folks, and it's all price driven. But as you saw by the different charts I got there are some price points that are not having a problem. It's between 500 and 800,000. If you list your home, you're okay. Now you have to list it below market value, not much, because they say the market value number is kind of a lagging inventory. It shows you 3 to 6 months of sales that happened, and the market is trending softer in that price point. So if you price a little bit below market value, because I'll call on a listing, they go, we got it priced at market. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's not going to work, because at market was yesterday. You want to be today. And if you price slightly below market value in the 500, 800,000 range, you will get a buyer. It's not that tough. And so it's determining what your market value is. But you also have to be flexible. You know after a couple of weeks whether there's any interest in your house or not. So put that in the back of your head. If there's no interest, you know what you have to do. You have to make a price adjustment. Now, there's some price points where you've made the price adjustment and you've done everything and you're still not getting the buyers, and it's just puzzling. Like, I don't get it. What's going on? And there's really no answer for that. You just need to get your house in front of as many eyeballs as you possibly can. Now, I did stumble across a listing here that I thought was really interesting as I was going through my my active listings on the MLS. I want to share this for you. This is 57,000 acres up in Seligman, Arizona. It caught my attention because it has the most pictures I've ever seen on the MLS, 128. Where is Seligman? It's way up here, almost to I-40. So this is how you go up to Las Vegas on 93. So it's south here. And it says here that it was the historic Fort Rock Ranch is for sale, the whole thing. And it's quite an interesting little development here. It's for sale for $42 million. So you can buy the whole kit and caboodle there. It's even got some hieroglyphics, it looks like. It's got a video. So if you want that link, send me an email at rick@rickhelps.com. If you just want to tool around, take a look at that, I'd be happy to send that to you. You can have your own little link and drive around, see what's for sale up there in Seligman. But for now, down here in the valley, we hit our first 100-degree day, our second 100-degree day coming up, actually behind us on Thursday and Friday. So here we go. I'm not looking forward to it. I really am. Just the older I get, the less I hate, the less I like summers here in Arizona. But I'm going to stick around, I think, this year. But if you have any questions, shoot me an email at rick@rickhelps.com. And please, link down below, sign up for my weekly newsletter. It comes out every Monday morning at 7 o'clock, and there is no spam. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.